And welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be discussing about Bitcoin on the verge of a breakout, but also we have so many other news like the stock market is in now facing a potential crazy cataclysm, like a crazy scenario, which I'm going to explain to you in a second why everybody's expecting a crash right now. And I don't believe so. So I'm going to give you a bit of a spoiler. But if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the like button. We post one video about crypto trading every single day. And this video is brought to you by our partners, Bluefin, the best non-KYC exchanges. I utilize myself for my trades. So we have a link in the description if you want to join. Enjoy some amazing trading discounts and also so many giveaways every single month. But now let's go back into BTC, $84,885. I kept saying to everybody, we are still under resistance. We still had to break this resistance, which looks like is about to. Again, still hasn't done it, but is about to. And I'm going to show you right now what is going to be our expectation from this. First of all, I want to show you the news of the day. The S&P 500 finally having its first death cross in 3 years. And here, what is going to be happening next? Of course, you can see the amazing news coming at the bottom of the market as always. And I'm going to discuss with you today, is this real? What is a death cross? Doesn't mean like the market is going to crash. I'm going to show you everything talking about the stock markets as well. But also on the other hand, which is quite funny, Waller, sorry, says interest rates may need to be cut soon if larger Trump tariffs stay in place. Basically saying that indirectly the Fed is going to cut interest rates, but it's not because inflation is basically at 1.49% as per to inflation. No, because of the tariffs, of course. We have been saying this for such a long time that the tariffs probably is going to be they're going to stay in place, but they're going to find a deal in the next 3 or 4 months. Inflation is falling down like a rock. People will not believe me. They were saying tariffs are inflationary. You can see the inflationary right now, but at the same time, guys, these news here always come at the bottom. So to be honest, I'm very, very bullish. Doesn't mean I'm not expecting a last drop, a crash, whatever you want to call it, but I'm actually quite bullish. So Bitcoin right now, guys, $84,800. As I told you yesterday, I was expecting last night, to be honest, to have a breakout. It's really taking its time right now. Bitcoin is making everybody very anxious. And if you're going to be able to break out, okay, so you're going to have a confirmation to go above here around $87,000 to $88,000, that is going to be my scenario. I could be seeing something like that, a push up to this area, a little bit of a pullback down to here as a retest, and then a continuation in between $94,000 to $95,000. That's going to be my hypothetical scenario. Or if you're not going to be able to break here, then what's going to be happening, as I always say, we might be seeing a drop down to this area, maybe something like that, and then up again. Is Bitcoin going to go and retest down like 72,000, 73,000? Well, everything is a possibility, everything can happen, but right now those are my two most likely scenarios, I would say. A big push up to here, a retest down to here, and then up to here, or a drop down to this area and then up again. And the question you're going to ask yourself is, are you ready? Do you understand if you are trading, if you're an investor, where is going to be the right point to go and go in with Bitcoin to buy or to sell or all of that? Well, if not, guys, we have an amazing VIP group. Our Discord group knows everything in advance. So we have Bitcoin analysis every single day. We have altcoin analysis, short term, long term, trading calls, anything you can think of about education, spot trading. We already wrote, what we are buying right now in this. You're gonna see like this nice rally, like a mini rally coming to the upside. So, guys, if you haven't done so, and if you really want to start to play this game seriously, what you have to do is to come and join the VIP group. There is a link in the description with a trailer and also our trading results, everything documented. So let's go back into BTC right now. 84,943 looks quite good. So as I said before, what I could be expecting is going to be up to here, potentially down to here, and then a continuation to the upside. So if you're going to have a breakout, if the Fed is going to cut interest rates in May, which is quite likely, we should be seeing BTC to move up to this area. And once you're going to move up to this area, as I always say, be very careful, okay? Because I can see that at this point here, everybody's going to scream for an all-time high. Everybody's going to say, "Oh, we're going to now go to all-time high, 200,000, $3 million, and blah blah blah." But the problem is that right now, it's once you're going to go to this point here, is going to be a very strong level of resistance. And what could be happening, and I don't want to make everybody upset right now, because when I talk about bearish scenarios, people then get very upset. I don't know why. But theoretically, okay, if you see from this perspective, once you're going to go to this point and then you see a rejection, remember that the retest was around this area here. So I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to go to this point here, have another drop down to here, and then we're going to start to go higher. Okay, so remember, when you're going to get to the point at 95 to 96, there's so many metrics you will have to observe that they're going to tell us, okay, is this the right time to, should we take off some of our money? Should we continue to hold from here? Is going to go to all-time high? Well, all my guys here, the members are going to know this. But of course, if you're here, it's going to be difficult to know. So that's what I'm going to be expecting. Also, as I always say, in regards to altcoins, okay, altcoin season, altcoins, people are telling me, oh, what is going to be the next project to go up like crazy? Guys, remember. I'm going to tell you this so many times. Crypto is very risky, apart from Bitcoin, which is less risky. Anything else, it's a scam. Great example. Om, look at this. It was at $6.31 in 1 hour. It went down to 45 cents. So there are so many ohms in the space. I can tell you that I would say 90% of the altcoins and all of that, it's a shit coin, right? They don't have the utility story about the smart contracts, about the RWA, real world asset gaming bull. It's all bullshit. Remember that those are assets to just trade, pump and dump. Okay, when you see it goes to the top of a cycle, you sell, bottom of the cycle, you buy. But be very careful to really believe in projects and all this bullshit, because these are designed to pump and dump. And this is another great example, guys. I've been through already 3 cycles. I can tell you it happens all the time. So be very careful with the altcoins and thinking and marry your altcoins. That's probably the right word. Now, Ethereum. What's going on with Ethereum? I mean, it looks not very good, to be honest. Like, Ethereum almost looks like it's forming a potential bear flag. Like, to be honest, unless Bitcoin is not going to be able to reclaim, as I said before, 93 to 95, to me, looks more of this scenario. Probably we're going to go up to here, 1,800, and potentially another drop to here. And then maybe from this point here, we should be able to go high. We could also have a look at, is that are whales and the big boys buying this dip with Ethereum? Lots of people talk about the whales. They are accumulating like crazy. As I always told you, let's have a look at Ethereum. Um, let's see from here. Are the whales accumulating? So, as I was saying before, we can see like a good positive delta coming already here at plus 100,000, 40,000, 70,000. Those are actually quite good numbers, I must say, because you can see already that there is a 5 million of volume, 71,000 positive delta, meaning that, yeah, they're actually more buyers rather than sellers. But at the same time, remember that you're going to see, if you really want to see Ethereum to go and say, okay, I'm now sure that this is going to pump, guys. I mean, Ethereum doesn't show any sign of reversal right now. And don't get me wrong, I'm very bullish on Ethereum, and I'm expecting, and I'm gonna really blow your mind right now. I'm expecting Ethereum to go like up to here, probably $6,000 to $7,000. I'm expecting it's gonna do that. But right now, if people ask me, are we gonna see more downside, more? Well, the downside is gonna be very limited, right? So, to me, in this box here, I'm gonna give you a gift today. I tell you what I think, but guys, to me, this box here, I think is one of the biggest opportunities to make very good money, because I really believe that if it's gonna go down to here, doesn't have any more, I would say, room to go lower after 1,000. and then he's going to be forced to at least, I'm going to say again, at least go back to here, at least to go back to here, around 3,000, 3,200. So if you're buying like around 1,300, 1,000, man, is a free X from here. So that's a very good number. It's even like, if you go and connect these points here to this point over here, you could be able maybe to push even up to this area. So again, you just have to wait and see what it's going to do. But again, the VIP, we already have all the specific levels to consider. Solana as well. Solana, what's going on with Solana? People are telling me again, oh, but no, it's going to go to 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. Right now, again, we can see like a nice weekly engulfing candle coming with Solana from here. And in general, that's actually a very, it's a good sign of reversal. And of course, we need to understand from here is that, okay, what is going to be happening in Solana? Is this a proper weekly reversal? Again, guys, you can utilize our volume footprint. We can see, are actually people buying here? Are they buying a lot? Are they buying? Look at that. So we have plus 400,000, 300,000. Then you had a minus 800,000, but 27 million in total volume, and you had a 370. That's actually quite good. That's actually a very good sign that Solana could be very close to a bottom process. And as I said before, be mindful that this doesn't mean that we are just going to go higher, but what it could be doing from here is going to be perhaps maybe something like that, maybe something like that, okay, maybe accumulating this area, and then it should have a strong rebound to the upside, perhaps to this previous level of support around maybe $200 to $220. Another thing, it could be happening as well, you can see that we are now basically down to this, all of this exponential moving average. What it could be doing, Solana is going to be a push, let's say up to here, 160, then going down one more time, and then do like a V-shaped reversal. But again, there is a very good sign that people are accumulating in this area, which is making me feel that we could be going and pump a little bit high. Let's also have a look, guys. Total free market cap as well, where we are right now. As I showed you before, we are basically into a retest of this. You can see that the confluence here is completely incredible. Like, the levels of support, retest of the previous breakout from here. So again, very similar to Ethereum, very similar to Solana. To me, this is like an accumulation zone. It's a great retest area to see something like that, and then have a nice explosion to the upside. So again, I started to accumulate my more crypto, more altcoins at these levels, and I'm planning to accumulate more if we're gonna hit some specific levels, which I discussed with my VIP group. Next one I want to show you as well, DXY, guys. Be careful right now with DXY. That's the reason why I was a little bit skeptical about this bounce with this breakout with Bitcoin right now. That I'm like, maybe it's not going to break out, we're going to go down a little bit more, is the fact that the DXY is completely destroyed and obliterated. In general, what we could be seeing is called a dead cat bounce. So maybe what we're going to be seeing from here is going to be a potential recoil up to 103 to 104, and then continue to go down. So if this happens, we're going to see a rebound for the DXY in the next, let's say, week or two. Then we could be seeing Bitcoin to then retrace a little bit more. Again, it's impossible to say. That's why I'm saying, guys, if you're trading, if you're investing, I think if you're like more like a long-term investor, and this is not financial advice, but then what I would probably will do myself is to probably start to accumulate now. I will accumulate at this level, but I will only put maybe 25% of my desired capital. If I have $1 million, I'll put 250K. Then if Bitcoin goes to 78K, I'm going to go 50%. Then if it goes to 72, 75%. If you go to 65, I will go all in. So I'm going to DCA my price down to like 70K. But right now, I would say that, yeah, basically, if you're a trader as well, I will trade the extremes, either above 86,000 or below 80,000. But again, in the VIP, we wrote everything over there. Now, the last one I want to discuss today, very important, is about this thing about the debt cross. Okay, so show you before debt cross in 3 years. Here was Epic Next, gonna be a disaster. end of the world S&P 500 is at $5,400. Now, let's have a look what happened in the past with the dead cross. The dead cross basically is the cross with the 50 moving average and the 200 moving average, right? So you can see that we just crossed from here, and happened the same thing that happened was in 2022. So happened in 2022. We can even go back to this point here. Happened also during COVID. You can see that happened as well in 2018. It went down to here. Then it happened in 2016. Did you have that cross in 2016? Yeah, we did. That cross in 2015, 14, 15, whatever. Yeah, so I just want to show you what is quite funny. Happened as well, 2011. So every time we had a dead cross from here, market went crazy. From here, market went crazy. Then from this point, up again. COVID, up again. So it's funny the way they're talking about, this death cross is like, the worst thing in the world, and we're gonna go and basically die. But every time we had a death cross has always followed a amazing rally to the upside. And I can tell you that this time I don't think it's gonna be any different. This doesn't mean, guys, doesn't mean that we are not gonna see, for example, like in this case here, as I always said, we could be seeing a pump, up to this area with the stock market, with the S&P 500 up to 5,600, 700, and then we're going to see another drop like that, down to 4,600. This could be happening like 100%. But when this happens, then this is going to be followed by an extreme recovery. Why? Because we are into a quantitative easing cycle. We're going to see the Fed cutting interest rates. We're going to see the Fed increase the balance sheet, and what it means, more liquidity into the system and more push to the upside. So those who are looking for the end of the world, the dead cross, I think they're going to be very disappointed, to be honest. And again, same thing that applies to Bitcoin. It doesn't mean from here. It doesn't mean we're going to go down. It doesn't mean that we have to do this 100% because that's what it says. Maybe this one already, this point here, is the initiation of a 5 type of wave. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That could be easily already the start of this movement to the upside. And if that happens, of course, that's going to be incredibly bullish for the market. Last time, I also want to show you guys about altcoin season. I mean, Bitcoin dominance basically going like to that 68 to 70%, which is good. And people telling me that altcoins are not going to perform this cycle and all that. Well, I want to remind you what happened here 2019, 2020. So is this time going to be any different? Well, I don't think so. Again, overall, still very bullish with BTC. Regardless, even if you're going to go down to here one more time, still very, very bullish. I'm expecting a big pump to the upside, especially with this quantitative easing coming, with Fed cutting rates. That's going to be very good for the markets. And I guess we had to wait and see what's going to be happening. But otherwise, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope it was helpful. And if you have a question, please leave a comment down below. But otherwise, I'm going to see you tomorrow for another video. And you have a great day.